company, as you know, was founded by a college dropout. So we've never really thought that a college degree was the thing that you had to have to do well. We've always tried to expand our horizons. And so that degree, about half of our U.S. employment last year were people that did not have a four-year degree. And we're very proud of that, but we want to go further. And so to that end, as we've looked at the sort of the mismatch between the skills that are coming out of colleges and what the skills are that we believe we need in the future, many other businesses do, we've identified coding as a very key one. And we believe strongly that it should be a requirement in the United States for every kid to have coding before they graduate from K-12 and become somewhat proficient at it. Right. And so we've done a curriculum now and provided it to all schools in the United States. 4,000 have picked it up. Now, we have a lot further to go because there's a lot more than 4,000 schools in America. But that is a start. We've also done that with 80 community colleges. And we're really proud of that, particularly with the work that we're doing in Austin and providing coding education there. There's an enormous deficit in the number of jobs versus the number of candidates. And so we are proud to take part and to help to get this alignment much better between education and private sector. We realize that in something this large, it takes government, private sector, and education all kind of oaring in the same direction, and we're very proud to be a part of it.
Well, thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kim?
Well, I too want to echo my appreciation for having the opportunity to serve on this board. I'm excited about what's happening across this country. Iowa has the lowest unemployment rate in the nation at 2.4%. Our economy is growing. We've had 4 straight quarters of wage growth in Iowa. We are no different than other states. We have jobs looking for people. So I'm anxious to work. A public-private partnership is the answer. That is how it's going to work. We have an initiative, Future Ready Iowa, that has a goal of having 70% of Iowans in the workforce to have education or training beyond high school by the year 2025. And we're at about 58% right now, but set the goals high, right, and work hard to get it. And we're doing that through registered apprenticeship programs. And we'll be launching an initiative, Computer Sciences Elementary, that will launch 6 computer science elementaries in the state that will target high poverty, high needs areas so we can help produce a capable, ready workforce. Most importantly, though, and then I'll pass it, is to make sure that our students and that Iowans know that there are multiple paths to great careers, and those careers exist in Iowa. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And Kim just had a great victory, Governor of Iowa. She just defeated somebody who spent unlimited money. It was unlimited. And it's called talent. You've done a great job. Thank you very much, Kim. Great job.
Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I'm Vi Laus from the city of Charlotte, and what I'd like to say is that we're a city where we want everyone to have the ability to participate in the economic opportunity. And we are the second largest banking center now in the country. That may be good or bad, but nonetheless, when we look at that, we also have to weigh it against those that haven't had a chance. And this opportunity, I think, will provide us pathways, innovations, collaborations to accomplish that so that people left out can get in a great home, a safe place to live, and a job that they can be proud of.
Thank you very much. And we have our big convention in your city, as you know, and you work very hard.
We're getting ready.
And a lot of people wanted it, and you got it. So congratulations, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Mr. President, Sean McGarvey with North America's Building Trade Unions, and I too want to thank you for the opportunity to work with terrific co-chairs and colleagues around this table on issues that are really important to the building trades. And I want to let you know that we made a commitment to you last year of 250,000 new apprentices over the next 5 years, and 56,000 of those last year were registered with the Department of Labor. So we're following through on our commitment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, Jay Box from the great state, great Commonwealth of Kentucky, representing 4.3 million people, and more particularly representing the 16 comprehensive community colleges and our 73 campuses around the state. And in Kentucky, we are committed to speeding the time to agree and a credential, because we know the workforce needs us to turn out our workers faster. And so we like to say, instead of a career pathway, a career freeway with many on-ramps and exit ramps, so that students can come into our institutions at any time and exit once they get a credential and right into the workforce, and later on they can come right back in for further skill training. Thank you.
Mr. President, nice to see you. I'm very pleased to be here. This project addresses itself to the two fundamental challenges we face in the business community and in our society. That is, people without jobs and massive numbers of jobs without people. And I believe the work that will take place here immediately, just with people working with one another, will add to the solution of both of those challenges. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Scott Sanders, National Association of State Workforce Agencies. It's been great to be around this table with employers, educators, and others. We've already started talking with Tom about how we can help across all the states, help pull those together, that unemployed, underskilled, and they're out of the workforce. And how do we get them back in and help fill those 7.3 million jobs? So honored to be here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President, Sherry Utash, President of Wichita State University Applied Sciences and Technology in Wichita, Kansas, the air capital of the world.
Right.
And very happy to be here, very honored to be serving on this, and wonderful that we have this issue to deal with and to find solutions for. So thank you for all your efforts towards that. We say at our college, hope has a face, and it's the face of our students. Right. And we know from education, from higher education, that we have to be innovative and disruptive in order to be in line and aligned with business and industry. So we're doing a lot of that, hope to continue to do that. And I can assure you from the two-year sector, along with Dr. Bumpus, we're doing everything we can to create the workforce for the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President, I'm Mary Ann Wanamaker. I'm a labor economist at the University of Tennessee. I think really the administration should be applauded for putting a spotlight on our using federal data to solve some of our biggest challenges. And this is one of those places where we really have a lot of assets at our disposal, and excited to help the board think through those issues.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good to see you again. It was about a year ago, I think, when we were here with the expanding apprenticeship task force, and I joined my colleague here and said the administration should be applauded and commended for the focus and spotlight you put on this very, very important issue. And I would be remiss, as I think all of my colleagues would agree, if we didn't also commend Ivanka and Secretary Ross for the leadership they provided to what I think is going to be some outstanding work we're going to do together. So again, thank you for your leadership, sir.
Thank you very much. Governor?
Mr. President, let me pile on the praise for your administrations, and the entire administration for that matter, just the laser focus on this topic. It is going to, whether we like it around this table or not, it's going to define our nation. It's going to define our states, our organizations, our companies, and the legacy that we leave behind us when we get this right, and you are. So I just want to express another debt of gratitude for trusting us. Last year, your administration, the Department of Labor, granted us a waiver that enabled us to cut our workforce council in the state of Indiana about in half, and it allowed us to operate at the speed of this table and the businesses that are around it. And that has made all the difference in the world. So as you continue to trust us, the states, to own it and to prove it, we will show America what works and what doesn't. And that will take us to the next level.
That's great. Thank you, Eric. Great.
Mr. President, Marilyn Houston, Lockheed Martin, I just again want to tell you how honored I am to serve on this advisory board, but also to commend you and your administration for your focus on getting American workers prepared for the future advanced economy that we're in. It's not just about today's mismatch and things we not work on today, but it's getting us prepared for continued economic growth What you've done to enable us with tax reform, with regulatory reform, has helped us to reinvest in our businesses, to reinvest in our workforce, and we thank you for that and commend you for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn. How is the F-35 doing?
It's doing great, sir.
Because I spoke to...
Folks, you've been watching President Trump and the advisory board, a mix of top-level CEOs and representatives from several states all talking about working together and to even help the economy more. I want to go back to Blake Berman, who is at the White House, with more on this. Blake.
Charles, what you've been watching here is the first gathering, as we continue to look at President Trump, the first gathering of the American Workforce Policy Advisory Board. This is about 24 or so members, as you saw from their titles there, state and local government, but also some of the biggest CEOs in this country seated directly to the right of President Trump. The first person we heard speak, the Apple chief executive himself, Tim Cook. You just heard from Marilyn Houston there of Lockheed Martin. Also today in the room there, the CEOs of Visa, Home Depot, IBM, for example. What they are talking about right now is workforce development. You heard some of the issues that they've been discussing as we're watching the president speak with them now, but this group has been meeting for the last couple hours or so. Data transparency is one thing. Essentially, if you're looking for a job, making sure that you have the best available data at your fingertips, as we just heard that economist talk about. Also trying to modernize candidate recruitment. This is a part of the workforce development push and change that this administration has been a part of, led, as you can see, seated next to the president, by Ivanka Trump. Charles?
Blake, thank you very much. Let's go to former Walmart CEO Bill Simon on this and other developments in our economy. Bill, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Charles, how are you?
I'm good. I don't know if you were listening at the beginning when Tim Cook began to speak. I thought he was remarkable. He talked about a college degree not being the quote-unquote the thing that you have to have now in this country to do well, and that half of the folks they employed last year did not have a college degree. I mean, this is like music to the ears of a lot of Americans out there. Are you sensing this same sort of shift as well?
I am. I also heard Tim say that he proposed that every K through 12 student have some sort of a coding experience, and I think that's terrific. I'd still be in the 11th grade if that were the case, but let's just move on from there. I think it's the right thing to do. That's what's needed in the economy today. And college isn't, that experience, that traditional 4-year college experience isn't right for everybody. And the economy now is in a shape where we can find ways to deliver that specialized training that is necessary to be really effective in the workforce, maybe without a traditional 4-year degree. So I really do applaud what he's saying.
Apparently also the CEO of IBM is in the room, and she actually coined a term, new collar, not blue collar or white collar, new collar jobs. And I think the great thing, Bill, is we are seeing wages go up for the first time in more than a decade for lower skilled or non-supervisory workers faster than supervisory workers. And we're going to get data on Friday that may suggest that continues. So this is something I think people have given up on.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, from a very early age, young people have experience with technology, and they're able to learn and do things and learn in a completely different way than the traditional K through 12 and 4-year college degree. And I think it's incumbent upon companies and educators to figure out a way to reach these kids and reach the new generation and develop the new workforce. So I applaud what they're doing today.
Yeah, my 6-year-old granddaughter can do things with my cell phone. I have no clue how she does it, how she gets to these places, and she does it with relative ease. Before I let you go, a lot of retailers are reporting earnings much better than anyone anticipated. A lot of folks thought maybe the American consumer was tapped out. Maybe that's not the case. Where are we right now with this economy and the U.S. consumer?
The consumer's strong, very strong. All the indicators remain in place. Gas prices are low. Wage growth is in place. We're seeing very low unemployment. Everything is right for the consumer, and you're seeing that in the results that are being delivered. You've got a lot of politicians screaming doom and gloom, and I think they're doing that more for political reasons than economic reasons. But the economy is strong, and the consumer is going to carry it, I think, through this year.
Bill, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Charles.
So is Kim Jong-un back at it? New satellite photos suggesting that North Korea is rebuilding a launch site just days after President Donald Trump walked away from those nuclear talks. So how is the White House responding? We're on it. And Michael Cohen says he'll be making a statement before he leaves Capitol Hill today, and when he does, we will be there.
Oh.
People with type 2 diabetes are excited about the potential of once-weekly Ozempic.